I'm Haley Taylor, and you're listening to the Rough Draft Diaries. We're going to jump right into this episode of the Rough Draft Diaries. Today we're meeting Jeremy Bigelow.
And I am a self-advocate here in Toledo, Ohio. I am a C3, C4 incomplete spinal cord injury.
Jeremy's spinal cord injury happened 11 years ago in Columbus, as he was leaving work as a sales rep at a dental manufacturing company. The road was wet, and Jeremy lost control of the car as it flipped 3 times.
And I am paralyzed from my shoulders down. So I can move my shoulders, but I have no arm, hand, leg function. So I rely on pretty much 24/7 help from other people to do everything for me.
This was obviously not a part of Jeremy's plan for his life. He had just graduated from college, was coaching hockey, and had just finished a marathon just before the accident.
You know, after such a traumatic event like losing your hand function or, not being able to put your feet on the ground in the morning and get out of bed or scratch your face. I mean, I can't scratch. I have to ask somebody to do that for me. And you really have to reevaluate your whole life. You figure out who your friends are because the real ones who care are the ones that show up. And you really have to almost reinvent yourself.
Jeremy is looking to reinvent more than just himself throughout this process. Although it's been more than 11 years, Jeremy and many others in the spinal cord injury community are still looking to create reliable and sustainable home health care.
And we have a lot of struggles with getting good people that want to help and want to stick around because home health care is not exactly the most attractive profession out there, and there's not really a whole lot of incentives to be in the profession. A lot of people would rather work in hospitals and nursing homes versus being in members' homes. Like I told you, I rely on somebody to literally do everything for me. And if I don't have reliable people, I'm stuck. Like, I never knew anything about home health, spinal cord injuries, healthcare in general. I didn't even know the difference between Medicaid and Medicare. And now that I'm in it every day, you really get to know the system very well. And my struggles, having reliable people come in on a daily basis, you learn that the system is broken and it needs to change.
That word reliability comes back multiple times, as it's one of the biggest issues Jeremy faces in his home. There are no cancellation fees or even documentation if a carer decides to not show up for work that day. They could cancel the morning of, and it would be Jeremy's responsibility to arrange for new care, which puts Jeremy's friends and family at a disadvantage.
My family, if I don't have somebody that shows up, I'm told that I need to have a backup plan. So that means my backup plan is my parents that work, that they have to drop everything to take care of me. There's constraints on family members taking care of individuals and not getting reimbursed, not to mention even a spouse. A spouse can't even get paid to take care of somebody. So there's so many issues from a legislative standpoint where the rules have to change in order to have just even your immediate family members be able to get reimbursed for the care that they're giving.
Jeremy doesn't entirely blame these healthcare workers, but instead the home healthcare agencies and the state government that can't seem to keep the system accountable and the living wage reasonable, as these healthcare workers often feel unsupported in their field.
It puts you behind the 8 ball constantly, and there's nothing really going for home care besides people's passion and love to know that they're helping people and make a difference. When things go wrong with even payments, like getting paid on time, I can go on and on with issues. But these people that really care about you, they'll work just to know that you're taken care of and won't even get paid for it. It's just, there's constant things that it's inhumane is what it is. If the state doesn't understand this, it's sad to say, but eventually everyone's going to get older. And when there's not somebody around to take care of them, that's when they'll understand it.
Jeremy is not willing to wait. Instead, he's looking to work. He has joined the Ohio Homestead Task Force.
They're a statewide grassroots coalition of Ohioans with disabilities, their family members, other advocates in the community, and other organizations. They're out there just advocating for the right to live, work, and just participate in the community. We're putting together this kind of coalition that's putting pressure on the state to make this change and figure out what we need to do to make this a better situation for direct care, for home care. The biggest thing is getting connected with people that go through the same struggles and trying to make a difference through legislation and bringing our stories to people.
So Jeremy's work continues. It may be a long road ahead, but as he's already proven through the past 11 years, he's up for the challenge.
Everyone has their own grieving process. And for me, I had a close friend that told me, you're still going to be able to do the things you did before. They're just going to be different. There's no right or wrong way to do something. But as long as you have the drive to do it, there's people around you that want to help you. You just have to look for them, or sometimes they just pop into your life. It's pretty amazing to find those people and come across those people that do it because they want to and they love to, not because they have to.
I'm Haley Taylor, and thanks for listening to this episode of the Rough Draft Diaries.